So today I am here with Will from Nomad, who's been a great client of ours, and I'm going to be jumping into a case study here just to analyze exactly how he's been using Thoughtly and the effects it's had on his business. So Will, it's a pleasure to have you on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Will.
Of course, I'd first like to jump into a little bit about what Nomad is and what your role in particular is at Nomad.
Yeah, so Nomad is a rental management platform. Landlords come to us to manage their rentals for in the long-term space. My role is I'm the head of IT, HR, and enablement. So I'm in kind of like every level of operations.
And I'm not going to downplay it here. I want to hype up Nomad as much as possible because although you guys did come to us for voice agents, we have people from our business coming to you for rental services. Um, I believe there's a specific line that you guys use. It's what's the pricing of all of it? Because I know that you guys have that little caveat for all those who are looking to get into the renting space.
Yeah, at its core, Nomad guarantees your rent. We all for 4% of the monthly income. Uh,
That's it. That's what I was thinking of.
yeah.
Yeah. So although you came to us, you walked out with some customers. I'm even thinking myself of enrolling. So yeah, you guys are definitely no joke. But with that in mind, how did you guys initially come across Thoughtly? What was the initial thought process, and how did you stumble across us?
So I kind of lead the AI development here at Nomad and just kind of the charge behind putting new software in place and trying to figure out how we can really unlock our super lean team. We're a small team, but we've got a huge presence. Um, and being a being a being a nerd, AI was just fascinating, and it just caught my attention. And as soon as I saw that first LLM OpenAI demo of ChatGPT, I was like, holy shit, the world's changed.
Yeah.
Um, and I immediately started to think, okay, where can I plug this into Nomad? Um, um, we needed customizability. So in my research, I continued down the road, and I found Thoughtly, um, and we were able to get, like, not only did we get a demo, but we got like a full working agent within like the first week of signing up with Thoughtly. So it's like, oh, okay, these guys understand that, like, we need to move fast. They're moving fast. They're willing to adapt with us, and it really just it made the choice easy at the end of the day.
I love that. And what pain points exactly did you have going into trying to find out AI voice agent platforms and trying to get AI voice in place? What was the real pain point making that decision for you?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it was Nomad had just launched nationally. We had just gone from 10 states to all 50 states, plus Washington, D.C., which essentially counts as its own state, so 51 states. And I still only had a sales team of 7 people.
Oh wow.
So like there was just all of a sudden we had unlocked this lead flow that was, I mean, thousands and thousands of leads a month, and we couldn't get to all of them. We physically could not get to all of these leads, and so we needed someone to be able to, that was uh, quick to be able to call our leads. Speed to lead is the real game changer in any sort of tech sales. So by finding Thoughtly and your AI agents, we were able to just, like, I mean, we're calling these leads within 1 minute of them putting their info into our lead flow.
Absolutely. Now, how was this handled previously? You're obviously doing re-engagement campaigns of people who showed interest and calling them immediately. What did it look like before AI voice agents?
Before, it was, if we got to them, we got to them. We'd send some text messages, we'd send some emails. Text messages may get marked as spam. Emails may be marked as newsletter or spam or promotion. So, like, it doesn't always hit the inbox. And it was, at the end of the day, that made our conversion cost higher. Our cost of our leads went up, or was higher, just because we couldn't get to them that quickly.
That does make sense. And to everyone's favorite part here, I see this kind of drifting in there, is going to be what metrics can you share with us with this campaign that you guys are running, the re-engagement campaign? What metrics have you seen since you guys have been launched?
Yeah. So this the campaign that's on now, it's tweaked a little bit. It's now all new inbound leads. It's not even re-engagement. It's all new inbound leads with a certain lead score that we know we can convert, but they just need to be nudged a little bit more. We've let's see. I'll tell you, in the last 3 months, we've booked 650 meetings, roughly, give or take a couple. So 650 meetings. We've made, gosh, I mean, in the last week alone, we've outbounded, anywhere from, in the last couple of weeks alone, we've outbounded per week anywhere from 500 to 700 calls a week. So we're touching 500, 700 more people than we would have previously.
Absolutely, and it's undisputable now. But when you first started, what were the initial thoughts? Were there any hesitations? Was there any roadblocks that your team maybe have had before jumping onto a platform like Thoughtly?
It's still a new technology, right? Like everything that we're doing with AI, everything that the world is doing with AI is like, it's cool, but it's all still a very new emerging technology. And it takes some time to trust new technology. It takes some vetting. It takes some practice with it. So at first it was just like, we would release Thoughtly to a very, very limited pool of people that we would hand select, that like we knew those leads, it wouldn't hurt our business if those leads didn't want to talk to the AI agent. They were essentially gone in our mind. But if one re-engaged, all of a sudden we paid for Thoughtly for a month. So like with some practice, we got there.
That makes sense of a little bit of hesitation opening up the gates, but now that results have started to come in, you guys are starting to book a bunch of appointments. What are the thoughts from the team? How is the team impacted from this? Has there been any, have you been able to reallocate funds elsewhere? Tell me about how the system has changed and people's thoughts now that it's been implemented.
This has kind of opened up the eyes of the rest of the org of like, holy shit, this is actually something that's powerful, that could solve problems for us. So I've got a priority list from every section of the org of where we can implement Thoughtly. Immediately, we're looking at adding it to our leasing's question phone line as an inbound agent, and that inbound agent is currently handled by a bunch of resources out in the Philippines, and it's handling 13,000 calls a month as is. So if I can take that resource in the Philippines and redirect it to something more, something that still needs some human interaction within the org, and have Thoughtly handle those 13,000 calls a month, like I know I can. I mean, there's a section of the org that's about to get 4x productivity because I'm able to reallocate people, resources, because I've got AI doing the basic work.
Absolutely. And with those two use cases, I know we discussed how much it's booking and how much money it's probably bringing into your pipeline, but do you have any estimate of how much it's saving based on human workload to now converting over to AI voice?
The outbound right now for the sales agent that we have in place, I would have had to hire 3 to 4 additional sales agents to be able to handle most of that volume. So if I think of like, if I were to throw a rough number out there, if I were to have to hire 4 people, fully burdened cost, it's probably saving me $400,000 a year.
I love that. I love to hear that. And with that in mind, we'll ramp down here. I just want to know if there's maybe any story or if there's any quote that you could reference where Thoughtly really impressed you, whether it's an interaction with a customer, or whether it's maybe someone internally who just had something to say about it. Is there anything you could share with us there?
I think like sharing a specific. I think it's really more. I'd want to share that like Nomad or that Thoughtly has presented a thought shift within Nomad, right? Like it's no longer like what can we do to, who do we have to hire to solve this problem? It's can we put Thoughtly in front of this to solve this problem? It's it's totally changed kind of the vision of what Nomad can do within within our lean organization.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. And winding down to the last question here is going to be, where do you see the AI voice to be implemented in Nomad in the future? And on top of that, where do you guys see Nomad going in the future? I'd love to know, a little bit about your future vision as a business.
Yeah, I mean,
I anticipate AI voice interacting with 95% of all of our customers at some point during their customer journey through Nomad. Like big picture, I want Thoughtly in place to handle basic account management problems, taking phone calls from owners and updating pricing in their portals, or helping a tenant through a maintenance request. There are so many kind of unique use cases that we can use Thoughtly for, and if we can pair Thoughtly with some of my computer actions based agent that I'm building, we'll be able to essentially pair these responses from Thoughtly with Nomad's own proprietary tools to physically do things across the web, whether it's updating things on Zillow or or any number of things. Honestly, it gives a voice to what's possible, and it's super helpful.
Absolutely. I love to hear that. And for anyone who's watching that may be interested, besides being the go-to leasing platform, do you have any plans for Nomad? Any shifts, any additions, any upcoming things that anyone could be excited about? Nomad Lease?
Yeah, I mean, Nomad's growing every day. Our guaranteed rent offering is there for everybody to use. We've just unlocked rent advances. So any homeowner who is on the Nomad platform can advance themselves 6 months of rent up front, no credit check, no anything like that. And you could essentially, you onboard with Nomad, you get a lease in place, you can essentially be given $20,000 in cash tomorrow, to be able to rent hack, to be able to property hack and buy another rental or what have you.
Well, you know that we're fans over here, so it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. It's been even more of a pleasure working with you, and I look forward to seeing what's to come here at Nomad.
me too.
Absolutely. Thanks for the time today, Will.
Yeah, thanks, Will.
Of course.